Hello, Lori.
Good afternoon or evening.
So how have you been doing?
I've been doing all right. A few ups and downs.
So tell me how it's going with recording. What's been going on with you?
Um, for the first several, I don't know if it's been a week or 2 weeks since we last talked, I'm not sure, but I know for several days it was really hard for me to try to find a time where I was thinking bad about myself or talking bad about myself. And it was when something happened this week that I first realized that, okay, here's an example of me talking bad about myself or thinking bad about myself. I lost the house key to my friend's house, and she's in Florida on vacation. And first of all, I completely even forgot that I was supposed to be taking care of her cats because I hadn't put it on my calendar. Long list of reasons why, but I didn't put it on my calendar and I forgot about it. And she messaged me to tell me that, I see how it was going, probably because she knew I was going to forget if she didn't message me. And we looked for a couple of hours around here and it's supposed to be in my car and it wasn't. So I don't know what happened to it, but I had to text her and tell her that couldn't find her key. And she's kind of not dramatic, but she acts impulsively at first. And sometimes I have to kind of talk her down a little bit. But her first reaction was, well, we're just going to have to come home tomorrow then. And I'm like, no, you don't have to come home tomorrow. I said, let me call Papa Lock and see if they'll let me in your house. We can get another key made, or I can FedEx, I'll pay to have your key FedExed to me up here. Whatever. And I finally convinced her to let me call Papa Lock. And that Papa, they let me in. That cost me $100. And my daughter was getting paid to watch the cats. And so she can't get paid. That's not, I just don't feel like that, she should take money because, she was responsible for watching for the key too. I feel like ultimately as a parent, it's my responsibility, but she was, she was the one that was getting paid and she was the one that's earning the money and stuff. And, I feel like she shouldn't accept any payment for this, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I feel bad that I lost my friend's key. I feel bad that my daughter, isn't getting this money and may lose the job. If I were my friend, I don't know that I would trust the same people with my key again.
So did you get a key made, or what did you do?
No, after Papa Lock let us in, she told me feed the cats for the whole week. So we literally had, we got like 4 or 5 different bowls and filled them up with water. And basically she had a quarter of a bag of cat food and she said, get a tray, get a baking sheet and just dump it all out on that. So we left all the food that the cats have and all the water. And, I said, what about the litter boxes? And she says, they'll deal. Because she just didn't want anybody having another key to her place, I guess.
Okay.
But, so no, she didn't let me get another key made. And I feel like I let her down because this is not the first time she has given me something that I've lost. And I don't know what happened to that key. I don't know if somebody me or one of my kids accidentally threw it away one time when we were cleaning the car. I'd like to think we didn't. I don't know if I accidentally grabbed it and to take it into the house and put it somewhere secure. And then in my absent-mindedness, laid it down somewhere. I don't know. So I feel irresponsible. That's pretty, keeping track of somebody's, house that's a big deal. and taking care of somebody's animals is a big deal. And I feel irresponsible for losing the key, and I feel like I let her down because she was counting on me to take care of her cats. And then, I feel like I share in the responsibility with my daughter for her losing I say losing the job. Like I said, if I was my friend, I wouldn't ask me to do it again. I wouldn't ask my daughter to do it again.
Okay.
And it was good money. She was paying her $100 for the week.
Wow.
I know. Just to go over there once a day and feed the cats and sift their litter box and get the mail and play with the cats for a little bit. And that was it.
So then, looking at this incident, how could you have created a situation where you didn't lose the key? Let's look at the process.
Well, I've got a key rack in my house. The ideal thing would have been to consciously put that key in a specific location. And I really thought that's what we did when we, because this is the second week, we'd already watched our cats for 1 week this summer. And we still had the key from watching them from the last time. And the thing is prior to that, we still had the key from last summer. I'd forgotten we'd had it, and it just so happened to turn up in my car because that's where we had left it from last time. So it was like it was in my car for a whole year, basically, me even forgetting it was there. And then I managed to lose it in a month.
So the question would be,
I know I didn't answer your question.
So no, the question would be, last time where somebody had to go over to the house to look at the cats, did you go with them or did she go by herself?
Oh, I have to go with her because she doesn't live within walking distance or anything. So I have to drive her over there. And then I sit in there with her while she does all of her, feeding them and sifting the litter box and playing with them. I just kind of use it as a little bit of time to chill. So yeah, I go with her.
And so she couldn't remember what she did with the key either?
She's she admits that she was lazy and that she was careless and that she didn't think about the key. We're both pretty certain that we left it in my car. And I have a conscious memory of sitting in the driver's seat and the key was there, and my friend had it on a big lanyard. And I remember wrapping the lanyard around the card, but that's all I remember doing. So I thought I had put it like in the glove compartment, and it wasn't there. We looked in all the other places that I could have stashed it. It was nowhere. Like I said, the only thing I can either I absent-mindedly threw it away, which I have done that before. I threw a ring away. I was twirling a ring on my finger. This was years ago. And the next thing I knew, I realized my ring was gone. And the last thing I remember doing was playing with it, and I threw some trash away. And I'll bet you anything I had that ring in my hand. But at any rate, it's either that or it was in my hand and I brought it in the house. Or, my daughter thinks she could have done it too, but I brought it in the house and got busy doing something else and laid it down somewhere.
Okay.
We spent 2 or 3 hours looking for it because I did not want to have to call my friend and tell her, because I knew I knew her reaction. I knew what it was going to be. But
so what do you do with your personal keys?
They either go in my purse or they go in my pocket. You know, I know I tend to lose my keys from time to time, which is why I have a tile on them.
Well, what about developing a system where you put your keys the exact same spot every day?
Yeah, that would be the smart thing to do.
I lose keys all the time, so I keep a carabiner on my keys because I literally clip them to my shirt. So instead of me having to go, which one of my cargo pockets or this or that, or did I lose them? I literally clip them to the top of my shirt with a carabiner.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then when
Well,
I come home, my wallet, both sets of keys go to the same spot now every day.
hmm I did buy a little entryway bench that has it has a split shelf on you know, it's got the little bench that you sit on, but then underneath it has a split shelf. Half of the shelf is for shoes, but then the other half is for like something tall. The middle shelf only goes halfway, 3/4 of the way over, and it has this little space that's perfect for a backpack or a woman's purse. So I
But
put my purse in there
being devil's advocate, is this downstairs or is this in your room?
downstairs.
Being devil's advocate, because the kids will take your keys to go get stuff out the car, you probably should put it in your room.
Sometimes not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
I mean, there's
Sometimes
no
I
need.
don't
Huh?
very sometimes I don't have very positive feelings about my kids. We'll put it that way.
Here's the thing. This is not something exclusive to your kids. Lots of people are users. So this is more of a, I deal with people for what they are. And because this is what they are, I am going to do X, Y, and Z.
I mean, I feel like I'm gonna have to put them. I have a metal toolbox with a combination lock on it. And I feel like that's what I'm gonna have to do with everything like that. And I hate it. I hate that somewhere along the line I failed. I did not teach my kids to respect me, to respect what I tell them to do. Hell, I just found out this week that they have known the passcode on my phone for who knows how long. My friend kept my kids. I went out of town for about 4 or 5 days, and my friend kept my kids. And she said, "Oh, by the way," she said, "you might want to change the password on your phone." And she thought it was funny how they told on themselves. They told her that they knew my stuff. They knew my pin for my phone, and she was like, "I think it's cute how they tell on themselves." But I don't know. Hang on. Hello.
God.
Okay.
So like I said, it's, you have to build the process so that all of them are, you're looking at, so here's what you have to look at, what the problem is. You have to define it, and then you start building a process for how to address it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the process has I guess the process before has always been my keys were in my pocket. And the only time that changes is when I wear something that doesn't have pockets. And um what am I trying to say? Oh, then then where my keys lost is where, when do I take them out of my pocket? Where am I standing and where do I put them? And then, like you said, my kids get my keys.
Which is why I say you're going to probably have to start doing something where when you come home,
Mm-hmm.
you come to your room, you empty your pockets, you put down your purse, you do whatever you do, and it always goes into your room to the same spot.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. So you have to create the process to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that you're doing what you need to do.
Go away. Go away. Okay. So the process, and realistically, I guess I maybe have to move something downstairs. Well, and I do. I bought a locking file cabinet, like a nice wood locking file cabinet, so that I could lock some more things up. Because I'll be honest, realistically, if I come home at the end of the day, I'm trying not to go upstairs to my bedroom, because if I go up there and lay down, that's all she wrote. I'm probably not going to come back down. So I'm trying not to go upstairs, but I'll have to get that cabinet. I'll get that file cabinet moved into the place where I want to put it, so that I can walk in there, and then I could lock my keys up in there.
So yes, you can put everything where you need to put it.
Although the key to lock up that file cabinet is probably going to be on my keys that would normally stay in my pocket.
So then what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna figure out, like I said, whether it's a combination lock or, like I said, realistically, you're probably gonna have to come upstairs, put your stuff in your room, and then go back downstairs.
Okay.
Because you're probably gonna come change from the day anyway, and then you'll, leave your shoes upstairs or do whatever you're gonna do. But so right now it's you lose stuff. So you know that you lose stuff.
Yes.
So what we're gonna do is we're going to replace the behavior. So if you take your stuff and always put it in the exact same place, you don't have to think about it anymore, and you're going to create a new habit. So you're going to come home, the kids are going to ask you stuff, they're going to do whatever they're going to do. You may even answer them, but then you're going to go upstairs to your room and put all those things in the exact same place. And so at first it's going to be hard because you're going to want to stop and you're going to want to do this, you're going to want to do that. It's going to be the exact, but you have to do the exact same thing. You have to go upstairs. You're going to walk over to your dresser or your nightstand. You're going to put your purse on the floor. You're going to put your keys there. You're going to put your wallet. You're going to put whatever it is you have to put there. Then you're going to go back downstairs and do what you have to do. You're not going to get on the bed because you're not going to shut down for the day at 6:30. And whatever it is that you're expecting your kids to do, they need to do that stuff before they get computer time.
That I'm better about doing. Yes.
So yes, you have to do that same process over and over again. So every day is going to have to be that same type process.
Yes. And it's hard. I mean, I can do it. I'm not saying I can't do it. I'm just saying that I know I've realized that that's where some of my struggles are coming from, is because for so many years I just gave up.
And so they're going to try to see if they can make you give up.
Yeah.
So you do the opposite. They're like, well, if you don't do this, I'm going to do this. Okay. And they're going to want you to get frustrated, and they're going to want you to give up, and you're going to do the opposite. You're just going to look at them. Okay. And
I need this pep talk. I need this pep talk often.
well, I will
Just to
start calling
remind
to
me.
give you the pep talk more often, but yes, this is
I
what you have
know.
to do.
I know.
Build your process and stick to it. So when you go out and you come home, it's the same thing. If you go out 13 times, you need to come home and do the same thing. Keys, purse, wallet, same spot. So yes, every time, oh, I got to run to the store. That means I got to run upstairs and grab the stuff I need. I might want to try doing this all in one trip. And then you come back. You go back upstairs, you put it all in the same spot. Mom, we're out of mayonnaise. So then, if you're going out, you're gonna have to get your stuff from your spot, and you're gonna have to go back. And then you go get your mayonnaise and you come back. Mom, I need a poster board for school tomorrow. If you decide you're going out, you're gonna have to go back upstairs, get your stuff, you go back out, you get whatever it is, and then you go back upstairs and put it back in that same spot.
Mhm.
When it comes to holding your kids accountable, it's the same, hold them accountable every day. If they have to wash all the dishes, they have to wash all the dishes. There are no freebies. They either earned or they failed to earn. You asked the question, did you earn it?
I did that, and I'm good about remembering that for the first few days after we talk, and then slowly I forget about it until we talk about it again, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, that works. I just have to remember to incorporate that in. Have you
Structure
earned
makes kids feel safe. Structure makes people feel safe. If you know that there's a structure in place, it's comforting. Even if it's bad structure, it's still comforting. That's why people stay in abusive relationships, because they know what's coming. That is, they're comfortable. Dad's gonna come home and he's gonna kick the dog, he's gonna cuss at mom, and he's gonna slap me. That is our
you've said
normal.
that one before.
Huh?
You've used that example a couple of times before. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, I've got a new wrench that's thrown in that I've got to figure out what the normal is going to be, what the pattern is going to be, because I got them cell phones, and I got them cell phones for my convenience. I need to be able to talk to them or give them messages or, let them know something, whatever. But it's becoming a problem.
Don't you have the parental, I believe you can turn parental controls on.
I can, but when I shut down their phone, they can't do anything but make emergency calls. They can't call me. And I haven't figured out how to do that.
Well, then what you do is unless it's a time that you're trying to get a hold of them, you turn it off. Or unless you go, okay, I know that I need to be able to get in contact with them between this time and this time, but once we're all home at 7:30, I'm killing the phones.
Yeah. You're right.
Because they don't need the phones.
I'm trying to look around because I don't know where the notebook is that I wrote down my notes last time. Because imagine this, I lose things.
But like I said, it's everything. There's a place for everything, and everything has its place. And I'm the world's worst note taker. I just keep it all in my head.
I got so much in my head, I can't keep track of anything anymore.
But like I said, we're going to develop that process. So the issue is you lose things.
Yes.
So now what we're going to do is every time you come in the house, you're going to come upstairs. So whatever you do downstairs, you will not put your keys, your wallet, your phone, or your purse down. They will always go up to your room to the exact same spot. And if you decide you want to take your phone with you, you can put your phone in your pocket. But your keys, your wallet, and your purse need to go to the same spot. so that way you don't lose them. If you have other keys, they need to go to their same latch or their same box every time.
Yeah, they stay in my purse.
So then they need to stay in your purse. So you have a friend's key, you have whatever, you have church keys, you have whatever it is that you have. They need to go to the exact same spot. And so what you're going to do is you're going to get a piece of paper and a thumbtack. And since you close your door every day, you're going to put it on the back of your door. And on there, it's going to say, you're going to pick the spot where you want to put, where you're going to pick the spot where you want your purse, your keys, your wallet, all that stuff to go. And on the back of that, on that sheet, it's going to have whatever that place is, and you have to check it. So you have to do a conscious thing of actually checking it. So you literally, when you come in and you put your stuff down, you're going to go to the door and check that you put it in its spot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to become so repetitive that you're not, at some point, you're going to stop even thinking about it because you're going to know my keys, my purse, my wallet go right here. My keys, my purse, my wallet go right here. And then next thing on your list will be phones go off at blah time. And so you'll know. So it may be a second sheet so that you know every time I come upstairs, I have to check off if I've left the house and I had to put my stuff in the same spot. And like I said, you'll have another sheet. You can even do it with a whiteboard. So you can erase it and start over each time. And it'll be like, oh, what did I just do? Oh, I'm supposed to do this. And you check it off to make sure you've done it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So phones off, 7:30. Whatever time they're supposed to have their chores done by, you
Mm-hmm.
have that check off there for their chores.
You know what? As we're talking right now, I'm going to go find their phones and make sure that they're shut off. I have them shutting off, I think at 9. Yeah, they're already locked. They're locked at 9 anyway. I think I'll just change that and lock them at 6. How do I? Okay, here is one hesitation I have about that. My daughter's actually starting to use her phone to talk to her friends. And if I turn the phone off, I guess though, I just say to her, it's off until you earn it back, until you earn the right to have it turned on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna go
You're
change.
getting it. It's earning it. Because if you just give it to them, they're not going to appreciate it.
Yep. I'm changing them all. I'm changing them all right now. No, I don't want that. Edit schedule. And I want it to lock at 5 p.m. Apply also to all nights. Save. They're gonna hate me. You know what? That means I'm doing something right.
And here's the thing. They can be upset with you and still love you.
Yes. Bedtime. 5 p.m. Okay. Apply to all nights. Save. Now I need to go to the third one. edit, bedtime, lock, 5 p.m. Okay, save, and then apply to all months. All right. That helps. That helps me keep control on that, because the phone, that was starting to get to be a problem, because I let them have an hour, a max hour on the desktop after they do their chores, but then they want an hour on the phone, and there's different apps, and I'm still trying to figure out how all the app for the phones work, because the app for the phone is different than the app for the internet. And so I'm having to learn the app, because the app for the phone is through AT&T.
Right.
So I'm going to learn it. I'm still learning it, but I'm getting there.
But like I said, this is where you start to build that process. And so now, what we're going to have to start doing, because you have to get back to keeping the information of, it doesn't even have to be the bad stuff. How many times do you think about what you do well?
I was doing good. I had an app that, and I was recording every night. I would record it, and it called accomplishments, and I would put all the things that I had done that day, managed to get done. And it was reminding me too early in the day, and it was annoying. And I turned off the reminders, and I haven't done it since I turned off the reminders. So I guess I'm gonna have to go back in and turn the reminders back on.
So here's what you're gonna do.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna set a late reminder. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna count how many positives. So each day you're gonna do your positives.
Mm-hmm.
And after you do your positives, you're gonna count up how many positives that you've come up with, and you're gonna keep that number.
Okay.
And you're gonna do that for each day. And we're gonna see, when you're recording that, how each day may be affecting it, and if you're actually building on the stuff from the day before. But we need to get a baseline number. So I need you to record. So you're gonna go through it, and then we're gonna see how many you have per day.
Okay. All right.
To see if you're getting more positive, staying the same, or being less positive.
And that probably goes up and down.
Well, it is gonna probably go up and down, but then we're gonna start looking at what may be happening that's causing you to have that up and down.
Okay.
Because you're right, we all do go up and down, but it's going to vary.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to look at, like I said, some of those factors as to why it may be going up and down. Okay. And so the other thing I want you to do is you're going to do all those accomplishments for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then just put a little note with your accomplishments for the day, like after you say all the stuff you've accomplished, and then just say something like, really proud because of this. Kids pissed me off today. Just some little blurb that when you look back on it, we can go, kids pissed you off, and then you'll be like, oh yeah, so-and-so was being a smart aleck, and this.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yes, every day your accomplishments, a little blurb as to what might have happened in that day to help you jog your memory, and the number of things that you said positive or accomplishments.
Okay.
So if you're like, oh my God, I made something from scratch today and I'm so proud of myself. Hey, we cooked tonight. We didn't do takeout.
Aaliyah did cook lunch yesterday.
Okay. That's a positive.
Absolutely, that was a positive. Yeah, I mean, some of my I like looking back over some of my positives, and today was a positive day. Today I got the weed barrier that I'm going to put in my back corner, and I actually went and picked up the blinds that are going to go in my window, and oh heck, what else did I do? I got something notarized that I needed notarized. I did some window shopping for a new hot tub today. Trying to think what else I did. I got a lot done. I got several things done today. Got a bench put together for the entryway bench that I mentioned. So I had my oldest put that together, and he was throwing a fit because it didn't have any instructions, and so I had to go online and find the instructions for him and talk him through that. But he had the experience of putting something together, and I think that was good for him.
Okay. Like I said, it's all a process. Everything is a process. So you take what you have that works and you figure out why it doesn't work, and then you start working on that and augmenting things.
Mm-hmm.
The same way that you've looked at what's going wrong with your kids, and you realize that a big portion of it comes back to how you dealt with them. And since you know that that's a portion of it, now it becomes, hey, how do I fix me so that I can fix them? And so that first part is now us going through and going, all right, we're going to define what our issue is, which is, it looks like for as much as you may be negative, you get overwhelmed. So when things don't go like they're supposed to, you get overwhelmed and then you become forgetful.
Yeah.
So we're going to address the getting overwhelmed part by creating the process. So one, we're going to stop losing stuff because we're going to start putting stuff in the exact same spot. And to it's nauseatingly repetitive. And you won't even think about it. You'll just come upstairs and just drop it right in that spot. And then you'll go to the thing and you'll check it off. And then guess what? When you got to go back out, you'll know exactly where to go to. I can be forgetful also, but that's why I've started doing the exact same thing I'm telling you. My keys, my wallet, my mask all go to the exact same spot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't even have to think about it in the morning. Oh, it's time to go to work. I'm like, oh, I don't have to think about it because it's going to the exact same spot. My shoes are sitting in the same spot. So I go to the door and my shoes are sitting right next to the door. I turn the corner, my keys and my wallet are all sitting right there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it becomes. It's that same repetitive process. Prior proper planning prevents piss poor performance. Piss poor performance produces pain. If we plan for it, we don't have to worry about making that mistake because we've already planned for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna lose my keys. No, I'm not, because my keys are going in the exact same spot. And if my keys ain't there, it's because somebody touched them. But it's not because I lost them.
And I have to laugh because my daughter is always saying, and it's not it. She's the one that loses them, but she's always like, somebody picked up my stuff. Somebody moved that. And she blames everybody else but herself.
But that's what I'm saying. It's coming in your room,
Yeah.
going to the exact same spot, and this is where it's going.
Yeah.
And so you don't even have to think about it. Where'd I put my keys? Oh, I know where I put my keys because my keys are sitting in that exact same spot.
And if they're not, that's because somebody moved them.
Yeah. Either the cat is carrying off keys and purses or your kids touched them. But they didn't just grow legs by themselves.
Yeah.
And which one of y'all touched my keys? No, because I sure didn't tell you to go get my keys. So which one of y'all touched my keys?
Mm-hmm.
And it really does become that simple. Who touched them? Well, I just wanted a drink. No, one, you didn't ask me. And I know you didn't ask me because I didn't tell you to get my keys.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So yes, that's what it becomes. Every day we're going to do the same thing.
So I need to put my purse and my keys and everything in the same place. I've already turned the phones, I set the phones so that they're going to shut off at 5 o'clock. May even shut them off at 4 o'clock because really my boys are supposed to be working until 4 anyway. But that's, I'm just talking out loud. But make sure that the phones are set off and then start getting them to do their things.
And you need to do
Follow.
your accomplishments for the day.
Oh, accomplishments. Yes. Yes. So what is that? 4 things. That's routine with purse and keys, electronics all off, make sure the kids are doing their thing chore wise, and do my accomplishments.
Yes.
And then on the accomplishments, I'm also supposed to count them and then just put a little blurb about
What
emotional
happened during that day? Yes.
Yeah.
Something that'll make you think about that day and you go, oh, this is what happened today.
Yeah. Okay.
So it could be, oh, me and Casey had a conversation today and she blew my mind because she told me something.
Okay.
Me
Well,
and Stark today were racing in baskets down the hallway. I don't know, it could be anything.
Yeah, the app that I use has a place for you to put the weather and a place for you to put mood.
Okay.
So that's, yeah, weather, mood, and activities. But they're kind of limited. I wish they had some more. Okay, wait a minute. They do have some more, but weather, mood, and activity. Activity meaning like, what did you do that day? Not necessarily activity meaning walking or going to the gym or whatever. So. There we go. All right, there you are. Okay.
So that becomes the everyday thing. And that's what we're going to start tracking. So I'm going to start sending you little text messages and be like, hey, have you done your thing?
I can do that.
Because at the end of the day, what it comes down to is you have to get in a routine. Because your lack of a routine is what's killing you now.
Yes, I know.
And so as we start building out this routine, it's going to be simple things like, did you cook today? Did you do this? Because that's all the stuff that you have to put in there so that they know this is what's going to happen on Monday. You almost have to have a program schedule for the house.
I do. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I used to have a monthly list. It was a yearly and a monthly list. And it was a spreadsheet, and it had the numbers of the month down the left, and across the top it had I think it had the months, I think is what it had. And so like when I was having to put chemicals in the hot tub, it showed up once every week on the 1st and the 8th and the 15th and all that. And things like changing furnace filters and, the things that you're supposed to do house-wise, like you said, cleaning wise. And I used to have that. I may have to find that and drag that back out, put that back up.
But you're going to have to put something up that's physically tangible. And even if it's you signing your initials on there saying, yes, they completed their task today. No, they did not complete their task today.
Mm-hmm.
And if they did complete it, they didn't earn the reward. There is no, I'm tired. There is no, they've gotten on my nerves. There is no, I just want them to leave me alone.
Oh God, that's gonna be a hard part. I'll admit it.
I just want them to leave me alone. Okay. Well, Mom, I hate you. Well, do what you're supposed to do, and guess what? I won't bother you.
It's gonna be the part of the hard part's gonna be when I'm tired.
Don't ask me stuff when I'm tired because it's an automatic. You're not going to be allowed to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Mom, I want to go with my friends. What did I tell you? But you're going to have to build that routine, because once the kids know that your routine, they'll get to the point. I'm not asking Mom because Mom's going to say no. Or Mom's going to ask me if I did this, this, and this, because it's routine.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Fat meat is going to be greasy. Water is going to be wet. The wind is going to blow. And Mom is going to give the same answer day in and day out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you're going to have to do it. Anything else you want to say, ma'am?
I'm just sitting here thinking that I'm already thinking about how I'm gonna fail. I really am.
You got to stop that stinking thinking.
I know. That's what I'm
Guess
trying to
what?
figure out. How am I going to forgive myself for not being perfect, but still strive to be perfect?
This L, you're about to have an L, but it's not going to be a loss if you don't get it right. It's going to be a learning experience.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
You're
I
either
think
getting it right or you're learning. But either way, it's not a loss or a failure. And a lot of times, if we do stuff right, we don't learn from it.
Mm-hmm.
It's when it's not right that we learn, because we're like, oh, yeah, this didn't turn out the way I wanted it to turn out. Oh, no.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I guess that's something I need to remember, is that it's not a loss, it's a learn.
I've had lots of things that I've screwed up and been like, oh, that was a learning experience. Not doing it that way again. It's like the people who drop the frozen turkey into the hot vat of of peanut oil at Thanksgiving and burn their house down.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, I bet you wish you had dried that bird off.
Mm. Just hope and pray none of my mistakes are that. None of my learning experiences are that serious.
But like I said, the seriousness varies person to person.
Mhm.
Because for one person, for you, if you went on a meth binge, that would be earth ending for you.
Mhm.
And there's other people that's just a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night. It's all in perspective, and it all varies person to person. What bothers me probably won't bother you, but somebody else, it'll be devastating. So, there's people, oh my God, my kids said they don't love me. And there's other people like, I hope my kids don't love me. Maybe I can trade them for a pack of cigarettes or something.
Sell them to the gypsies.
Yeah. I hope somebody comes and steals these kids.
Yeah.
Like I said, it varies person to person. That's why we have to sit there and realize it's all within perspective. It's all going to vary because my, oh my God moment is somebody else's, oh, that ain't no big deal. So the fact that you have a whole house to lose something in to somebody else is amazing because they're living in a grocery cart.
I recognize that.
The fact that you have 3 kids that maybe have butthole behavior sometime is amazing to somebody else who's lost their kids.
Yeah.
Point of view and perspective matter. So when you're beating yourself up, remember, there's somebody that would love to be in your situation.
Yeah.
And as bad as your routines are, they're still better than somebody else's. So now this is when it's time for you to reflect on the fact that, yes, I have not done everything perfect, but I could be a lot worse. And there's always somebody paying attention to you that wishes they could be you or have what you have. But we don't think about those people. We just think about what we don't have.
Yeah. And I need to remember that a lot of people look at me and a lot of people tell me how strong I am. And I forget that a lot.
You're raising 3 kids by yourself. You're keeping your house afloat. You're doing all the stuff you need to do as a responsible adult. You have people with no kids who every night go out and get drunk and barely make it to work the next day if they make it. So if they were half as responsible as you, their life would be great. This is where you start thinking about yourself. And this is why I say you need to make sure that you put down your accomplishments every day. So you remember that as much as you think that you're not doing well, you do a lot more well than you do bad each day.
I resisted doing man shopping today, being impulsive.
That's right, man shopping.
Oh, shoot.
So the behavior that we're looking at is you being distracted and forgetful. To combat you being distracted and forgetful, we're going to create a routine where you come up to your room, your keys and your purse are going to go to the exact same place every time. You've set the alarm on your phone so that their phones go off at a set time. You're going to go check, and they either earned computer time by completing their chores when they're supposed to, or they don't. And you're going to end your night when you get your reminder that reminds you, write down all of your accomplishments for the day and do a blurb.
Yes.
So next time we have a session, I'm going to check and see what type of progress you're making. So have a good night, and I will talk to you later.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.